before it could start, going on this Hail Mary run and this wonderful, wonderful run that everybody's expecting and everybody's looking for and everybody wants, well, why can't this thing test the bottom channel first? And this is kind of where you put on your trader hat, you take off the rose-colored glasses.
Welcome to Access a Trader, the #1 community for those who are committed to taking control of their trading in order to achieve success, profitability, and longevity. Thank you for joining us. Here's Dan Shapiro to help you find your edge, master your process, and own your future.
Hey guys, good evening everybody. Welcome to another edition of the AccessATrading.com nightly wrap-up show. Hope everybody is doing well. So let's talk about yesterday, right? We had a really good standoff by the bulls. I think the bulls, as we discussed in last night's video, did a great job yesterday. Really, really good job. And just when you thought they were going to reclaim the 5-day moving average, you had a pretty aggressive sell-off into the close, which kind of led up to, well, what's going to happen today, right? We obviously got rejected yesterday. Is the market going to take out yesterday's range and start testing the previous day's low, what we put in on the 4th, right? That was the only question. And we saw it very, very quickly this morning. Q's gap down right to yesterday's low, pretty aggressive gap down. The Dow was down at one point 450 points. But here's the crazy part about the market. When you look at the final scoreboard today, not only did the bulls hold yesterday's range and erased all of today's losses, but they basically did today what they should have done yesterday at the close. So the question is, well, what the hell are they doing yesterday at the close? Why did they give it up so easily, so aggressive? Again, that's called technical analysis. When you hit a supply zone, more chances than not, you're going to see a reverse area in that correlated march towards upside. That's exactly what you saw yesterday. And today, right, what do? They did, not only did they buy the dip, not only did they defend yesterday's range, but they reclaimed the 5-day moving average on the close. And this is probably the first time that I could probably say this ever since we lost the 50-day moving average here on September 27th. I actually like some things going into tomorrow. This is probably the first day, the first overnight that I can turn around and say, yeah, there's some pretty good value on the upside tomorrow. Now, by all means, by no stretch of the imagination, am I turning around and saying, I love this market, I think we're going higher? We can't say that yet. We're so far away from that question. For the market to be good, for the Qs to really be good, they would need to reclaim this 50-day moving average back. We need to reclaim what we lost, at least the close of 369, 370. So we're far away from that. What we're talking about now is an extension of today's really good fight back. Reclaim the 5-day moving average. Again, if you're kind of watching this broadcast for the first time, the 5-day moving average is the shortest term sentiment. Doesn't mean we're going to be higher, all-time highs 3 weeks from now. All it means is if you believe in the theory stocks trade from supply to supply and demand to demand, well, we reclaimed the 5-day. And now the next move with this potential continuation bounce is back to this 362, 360 level, which is the 10-day moving average. At that point, we'll obviously have another area of supply, and then the bulls are going to have to do another good job of reclaiming that level. But again, at least this is good baby steps. That's all you can ask for. You can't expect a newborn baby to go from holding its head up to crawling, to standing, to walking, all of a sudden doing a marathon, right? It's all stages. So at least it was the first time today since, September the 24th that we reclaimed over the 5-day moving average. And the key for tomorrow's session is, can we build over today's highs? If we can't, we're going to roll over and go back down. So it's very, very important that all the leaders that got destroyed and got hit and got taken down to the woodshed for the last 2 weeks, they kind of sustained their will to fight, okay, and kind of give it a second day of rotational buying back into the 10-day supply. That's how it works. So it goes from 5 to 10 to 20 to 50, right? And again, before we can get to the 50, before we could get to the 20, we need to get to the 10. So that's me very, very important to understand. Does everything look great for tomorrow's bounce? Probably not, right? Probably not. You still have a lot of names well underneath supply, right? You have Apple underneath supply. But again, if Apple can take out this little 3-day range can it put up another dollar and change? As you can see here, when it hit the 10-day moving average, the green light, it got rejected. So there's really not a lot of room in Apple. So does Apple look like a great buy tomorrow? I mean, look, it could rally. It could, given another day of a bounce, but it doesn't look great. Even the video, right? The video looks actually okay. Maybe has another day 2 bounce coming into this maybe 50-day moving average as well. So again, it's not going to be one of those potential $10, $15 rallies in the video, but it looks good, right? It looks fine. If you look at CRM, right, a little bit more daylight here, much better looking chart than names that got rejected and are sitting underneath supply. At least you can see here, here's a very viable channel here. And if it takes it up, then you have a nice looking air pocket for it to potentially test. So there's definitely names for tomorrow, but some names you're going to turn around and say, well, what the hell are they doing, right? Check Tesla, for example, right? And we're constantly seeing these big, deep, out of the money Hail Mary bets. The October 15s, the October 29s, they're coming for the 830s, the 850s, the 880s. I mean, for God's sake, doesn't it at least have to take out a previous day's high before you can get to 880? Okay, at least take out a previous day's high. I'm not even talking about the top of the channel, but at least the previous day high to be viable. But now, you're starting to look at a Tesla, for example, and you say, well, wait a minute. Before it could start, going on this Hail Mary run and this wonderful run that everybody's expecting and everybody's looking for and everybody wants, well, why can't this thing test the bottom channel first? And this is kind of where you put on your trader hat. You take off the rose-colored glasses and put on your trader hat. As much as this 60-minute band is getting tighter and tighter, and forgive us, this is a bad tick on e-signal. Again, the upside band is starting to get tighter, but at the same time, when you look at the daily chart, right, it's tested the 10-day moving average now back-to-back days and is really not participating with this leg of the rally. Had a nice little pop this morning. Again, we'll get to the individual pivots in a second, but it's really not participating on the strength of the market. Now, again, Tesla is its own animal. It can wake up at any given point and start attacking the top of the channel. But at the same time, we also know Tesla's own animal. It doesn't care what the market does. And as much as everybody thinks it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher, it's going to go higher, it could easily take down this 10-day moving average and trade down, giving a 10, 12 point measure potential kind of cash flow push. So again, we're kind of open-minded there as well. But there's a lot of names that look really, really good. Funny thing is, AFRM, I actually was watching this thing. If you guys remember on last night's video, I was actually watching this thing today to the downside, below this 106 channel. This is the strongest stock on the board, man. This thing went absolutely nuts. Names like UPST, very, very strong. Name like NET, again, one of the pivots we had today, just really, really big move here. So there's a lot of names that are still underneath congestion, underneath water. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort to kind of bring them back up. But at the same time, there's definitely some pretty decent value on deck for tomorrow. And there's definitely possibilities of a day 2, dare I say, a dead cat bounce for a potential 10-day run. So again, going into tomorrow, like today I was 70-30. Sell bias. The problem is the whole sell move came overnight into the pre-market lows. You really didn't have a chance, for the exception of a couple of names, to kind of get anything going today on the short side. But going into tomorrow, let's talk 65-35, right? Bulls. Okay, we'll see what happens here. But again, you have to be prepared, both long, both short. It doesn't make a difference how you paint the picture, whatever you want to call it, bull, bear. It's all about opportunity. So let's talk about today's day, right? Let's talk about today's pivots. MSTR, we talked about it briefly in last night's video. I had nothing to do with this thing. This thing is way too thin. We talked about it's way too thin. But again, it followed Bitcoin. And if any of you guys out there did take it, congratulations. You're a better human being than I am. Like I said, not the best tradable name out there, for experienced traders only. 660 is very important. Repeat buyers are coming in for the 700 calls. If you did take it, God bless. I had nothing to do with this thing. MSTR. Here is it reclaimed the 660 area and went all the way up to the 682 area. If Bitcoin continues to go higher, if you are in this thing, who knows? Maybe you get that 700 plus push. God bless, right? God bless. AFRM, like I said, 106.50, 106. If it builds below, can flush. Obviously got nowhere near that area and took out 52-week highs. AMC is almost ready. I think it's almost ready here. 36, if it builds below, can flush. Only went down today about 35, 40 cents. Towards the end of the day, they saved it on the close. Towards the end of the day, they did come in for the week, for next week's October 15 puts, October 33 puts. Again, just needs one close below this channel here, and you can get a pretty decent move down. So definitely still continue to watch AMC. NET was a monster. 126 needs to build. Here was NET, right? Here was NET, took out the 26. We talked about NET last night in the video. Went to 135. This thing is very, very close to attacking all-time highs. XLRN never got up to this level, despite the weakness yesterday's rally and yesterday's sell-off. A lot of names. That was the whole point today. There was a lot of names stuck in middle ranges. Have to be patient, wait for these channels to start developing. Netflix, again, nice little grind. Again, it would be nice if this thing was thicker, but it's showing strength. 635 needs to build for cash flow potential. Here is Netflix. Again, it still looks really, really good. It traded up to this 639, 640 area. That was the high from the previous day. If the market's strong, it should give one more day. Tesla, nice, cute trade. That's the best way I say it. Cute trade today on Tesla. Cute move today. In case futures get better, 782 stuffed at the top of the range, needs to reclaim. It took out 82 and stopped right at 787. That was the next supply. Again, it's having a hard time. It really is a hard time getting above that level, but it's slowly but surely trying to. ZETA never got to this level. Keep an eye on it for all you guys who are trading these little ones. This thing looks pretty good. NET take on the way up. Again, here's that next big level. It got rejected perfectly there. NVIDIA closed right at that 207 level, right at the close. We'll see how it opens tomorrow. Roku just absolutely exploded. They were coming for the 325, 330, 10-15 calls. Here was Roku. Roku still looks like it has one more day up, so it took out this whole 316 channel, went to 323. Still has some room. Definitely still has room left tomorrow. Obviously, if you can get a dip in this thing for tomorrow into rising 60-minute support, maybe this thing goes red to green for another second day run. 131 on deck. Yeah, I mean, it's big level here. This was a nice move. And again, guys, this is where we always hear me talk about the options market, right? Dictates price action in the equity. Here's a perfect example. ATER, 910, 9. If it builds below, can flush. Buyers were coming in. This is not just one buyer. Buyers were coming in plural for the October 15th 750 puts. If you have a Locan, I know a lot of you guys are in this thing on the option side, and look what this thing did. I mean, this thing looks good. When I mean good, I mean bad. So it took out this whole channel here, this whole 910, right? 910, 9 level. It traded right to the 50-day moving average to 830. And again, they were coming on repeat, 750 puts. So if this channel confirms tomorrow, guys, you could see a potential next leg down into the sevens. Again, for all you guys who are holding a runner or some sort of position, again, stock is trading in the 820s today after hours. So hopefully, if there is another valid move and confirms today's channel, you should see a 7 handle on this thing for tomorrow. So again, hope springs eternal. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But again, there are some pretty decent charts for tomorrow. I would not look at it as one of these home run YOLO type of scenarios. Just a tradable session back to the upside, and then we'll kind of reassess after if and does kind of hold and kind of fights and tries to reclaim the 10-day. Guys, have a great day, everybody. Good night, and I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.